Good morning, everyone. I'm going to have a presentation about the feasibility study for redevelopment of Whitelock Street temporary soccer pitch. I will name it as the venue during my presentation. Further to the performance test results conducted in the venue previously, it showed that the turf coverage was poor and cannot meet the departmental requirement. It also directly influences the velocity of ball roll and evenness of the ground. Together with the verbal complaint raised by the users, there is a general need for conducting a redevelopment at the venue. The ultimate goal of the redevelopment project is to raise the ground coverage up to 70%, which is the requirement of our department. After that, both playability and aesthetic value of the venue can be enhanced. It also directly contributes to the positive image of our management and, of course, our department too. To achieve the goal, we have to find out the problems in the routine maintenance and fix them accordingly. With the high demand and traffic at the venue, frequency of watering is low. Carbon grass is worn and not able to recover well without sufficient watering. In the view of such situation, two options of redevelopment are suggested for consideration. To cope with different financial situations, I would like to propose one capital redevelopment project involving over $1 million and also a cheaper one, the improvement project for operational management, which costs around $16,000. First of all, I would like to talk about the capital redevelopment project. Comparing to carbon grass, which is using in the venue currently, Bermuda grass has better wear and drought tolerance. As such, Bermuda grass is more suitable for the venue. It is suggested to replace carbon grass with Bermuda grass. As the works involve a lot of extra machineries and manpower, the works will be carried out by external suppliers and contractors. Now, I move to the details of the works. Apart from removing the carbon grass and laying the Bermuda grass, topsoil will also be replaced with quartz sand in order to promote drainage and avoid compaction. The quartz sand is specific sand which is stone and shell free. To increase water and nutrient retention of the growing medium and increase field stability, peat molds will be mixed into the quartz sand. For laying of Bermuda grass, it is more common to perform soaking in Hong Kong. Similar practice can be found in the Sideshow 1 recreation ground, which is one of the venues in the district. Let's move to the schedule of work. The whole project will last for 66 days. For the first week, staff of the venue would make use of own soap cutter to pick up some healthy turf as turf reserved for other venues in the district. And the contractor staff will remove the rest of carbon grass. Then, the contractor staff will remove the existing topsoil in next 5 days. After that, they will apply specific sand, that is the quartz sand. which is mixed with peat moss to the pitch as topsoil. The contractor staff should drag the surface to form a uniform surface for the next 2 days. After that, a lot of manpower should be involved for fertilizing, soap laying, top dressing in the coming 7 days. For next 2 weeks, it is time for establishment of root together with heavy watering. Then 3 more weeks are provided for further development of root, mowing and rolling. Taking consideration of inclement weather, 5 more days should be provided for contingency. There are many equipment and machineries required for the work. Staff of the venue should use their own soap cutter and soap containers during the first week of the work. Then, excavator, sprayer for application of fertilizer, tractor with drag mat and row should be provided by the contractor. Materials like soap, quartz sand, peat moss, and fertilizer should also be provided by the contractor. For the quartz sand, an on-site acceptance test will be conducted by our staff in order to ensure the quality of sand. The sand should be free from impurities and unwanted substances. It should be grayish white color and size should be ranged from 0.1 mm and 1 mm in diameter. Okay, it is the time to talk about the money matters. With reference to the existing bulk purchasing contract of our department, it is about $70,000 for laying Bermuda grass. For laying topsoil and top dressing, it also costs a lot. It is about $370,000 for each task. For last task, removal of debris and clearance of site, it costs $315,000. The total amount of redevelopment works is about $1,100,000. So this is the details of the capital redevelopment. Next, I will move to the program details of improvement project for operational management. This project is focusing on modifying the routine maintenance of the venue management. To tackle the problem mentioned in previous section, I would like to propose the establishment of turf reserve, increasing the frequency of irrigation and mowing. Let's talk about the establishment of turf reserve first. To deal with the damage of turf after soccer activities, it is necessary to carry out turf repair by laying soap. It is effective and practicable. The pitch can be used again instantly after repair and successfully maintain the ground coverage. There are amenity lawns in inconspicuous locations adjacent to the pitch, which covering with well-grown carpet grass. With the use of existing soap cutter, square cut soap is then nursed in the soap containers as spare soap for instant repair of turf. Next, I would like to talk about the way to increase frequency of irrigation. Referring to the current practice, watering is conducted every day except weekend and Sundays. With high evapotranspiration rates in hot summer, such irrigation pattern should be revised in order to meet the high hydration need of carpet grass. During weekend and Sunday, there is 1.5 hour as lunch break. During that period, the venue is closed, and the staff all go out for lunch. Staff may take turns for lunch in order to carry out watering during the lunch break. It is practicable because as venue management, we can rearrange the lunch hour for our own staff. In the same time, to avoid excessive watering, as carpet grass is poor in flood tolerance, electric soil moisture meter should be used to check the moisture level. The moisture level should be tracked regularly to avoid excessive watering or too little water for the turf. Last one, it is to increase the frequency of mowing. As we have to increase the turf coverage, it is widely known that the mowing can increase turf density. Currently, venue staff mow the pitch once a week. The frequency should be raised to twice a week. And of course, the staff will be reminded to mow the turf in accordance to 1/3 rule each time. After talking about the details of work, I'm going to discuss the schedule of work. For establishment of turf reserve, venue staff should cut the soap at alternative lawns every 2 months and store the soap in the soap containers. The soap in the containers and the lawns involved should be irrigated every day to enhance the recovery and establishment. In addition, fertilizing and pest control should also be conducted at both squares cut soap and lawn for maintenance. Then, let's move to the irrigation pattern of the pitch. Venue staff should maintain watering every day on Monday to Friday and watering at noon during weekend and Sundays. Electric soil moisture meter should be used regularly to ensure optimum moisture level of the pitch. Procedures for increasing frequency of mowing are very simple. Venue staff should conduct mowing twice a week in accordance to 1/3 rule each time. Resources and costs required for improvement project are less than the capital redevelopment. For establishment of turf reserve, soap cutter and soap containers are required. To establish the turf base in the soap containers, only quartz sand and peat molds are required. Next, for irrigation practice, only extra water and soil moisture meter are required. Lastly, for mowing, it is conducted by existing staff and machineries, so no extra costs are required again. It is known that most of the resources are already available in the venue, and the additional practices like irrigation and mowing are carried out by existing staff, so extra costs involved are low. For establishment of turf reserve, only procurement of extra coarse sand and peat moss is involved. It is about $5,000 in total. To raise the frequency of watering, extra water is required. However, there is no charges for consumption of water by government department. It is widely known that in Hong Kong. As such, only costs involved should be the procurement of soil moisture meter. It is about $11,000. As no additional manpower and equipment are involved for mowing one more time in a week, no extra cost is involved. To sum up, total cost for the whole improvement project is about $16,000. Let's move to the comparison between the capital redevelopment and the improvement project. The capital redevelopment involves more money, resources, and time. Venue closure is necessary for carrying out capital redevelopment. However, it improves the turf quality in long term. For improvement project, no venue closure is required. It costs smaller amounts of money as it is not necessary for the closure of venue. It does not disturb the operation of the pitch. However, it may take longer time to show improvement in turf playability and appearance. Although the capital redevelopment may bring the instant and long-term improvement to the ground coverage of the venue, me, as the venue manager, it is also necessary to consider users' demand and the tendency of the venue. With high demand of soccer pitch in the district, closure of the venue for over 2 months would generate grievances among the regular users. It is also not cost-effective to spend over $1 million to carry out an improvement works to a temporary ground, which is not certain for the use of land after 2 years' time. To conclude, the improvement project is recommended to modify the routine practice of the venue. It is more practicable and also practicable and cost-effective. So, for the capital redevelopment project, it is not recommended for this time. Thank you very much for your attention and consideration.